When you first start dropshipping on Facebook, it's normal to use suppliers like Amazon, Walmart, and eBay. They're reliable, trustworthy, have great return policies, they ship out fast, and they have millions of products that are high quality that you can list. That said, everyone else is using these same suppliers, and the same reason that they're good for beginners is the same exact reason that they become problematic if you want to scale past that stage. Continually listing the same products from these sites that everybody else is will eventually lead to product saturation, higher competition, and race to the bottom pricing. If you don't believe me, copy any Amazon title word for word and paste it into the Facebook Marketplace search. And often you'll find dozens of sellers selling the same exact product at roughly the same exact price as each other, literally copied and pasted from that listing with no differentiation at all. And if that's your long-term strategy, you're handicapping yourself at any real potential growth and any real potential money that you could make doing this. Don't get me wrong, you can make sales and money as a beginner listing from websites like this. In fact, I still recommend starting there for most beginners. But if you want to take that next step, you'll need to break away from competing solely on price and happenstance on the same exact products that everybody else is selling. You'll want to start differentiating what you're bringing to the marketplace if you want to succeed long term. And there are many ways that you can do that. I've already covered about a dozen of them in 2 past videos that I've done. I'll be sure to drop links to both of those at the bottom of the description if you want to check them out. But perhaps the easiest and most effective way to differentiate is to simply use different suppliers and list different products. Simple? Yeah. And yet most people are still desperately clinging to the same exact websites like Amazon solely. So in this video, we're going to cover 5 sites that you can list from other than your normal Amazons, eBays, Walmarts, and Home Depots that are also reliable, trustworthy, have good return policies, ship out fast, and also have tons of quality products that you can list from. And they also have wildly less competing sellers listing from them. So chances are if you find a hot product that hits from one of these sites, the shelf life of that product will be much, much longer. And you'll get a bunch more sales from that listing over and over again, simply based on the fact that dozens of other sellers are not offering the same exact product on Marketplace. Plus, all of these sites integrate with Z-Drop, which I already recommend, so you can copy them easily with literally the click of a button. As always, Z-Drop is linked down in the description with a discount if you want to grab it. So the first supplier I want to touch on is actually 3 grouped together, and that's Costway, Overstock, and Wayfair. I've had success listing from all 3 of these websites. They have tons of products, solid customer service, and decent return policies. On top of that, you can find a lot of higher priced items on these sites, so your margins from products that you take off this website can also be great as well. Some examples of things that I've seen success with on these include bed frames, mattress covers, and kids' electric cars, literally the ones that they get inside and are able to drive. The next site I recommend trying is Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, full disclosure, I just started listing from this site on the Marketplace fairly recently, and I've only had a few products hit from it. But I have lots of experience using this website when I used to dropship on Amazon when I first started, so I know it's a good one and it has a lot of solid products to list from. Now, little disclaimer here, I obviously did that when I first started dropshipping on Amazon. I don't recommend dropshipping from big box retail stores like Bed Bath & Beyond when you're dropshipping on Amazon. To continue with that similar sentiment, Chewy is yet another site that I extensively used when I first started dropshipping on Amazon. Again, just like Bed Bath & Beyond, I do not recommend dropshipping with this site on Amazon, but they are both fine to dropship on Facebook Marketplace with. And I sold a lot from Chewy when I first started dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and then for whatever reason, I just kind of moved away and completely forgot about it. Probably because I wasn't able to get tax exempt on the website, so I felt like my margins weren't as high as they could be on other sites. Well, I started to list from it again, and it wasn't long until I had a few things hit. Some examples of things that have sold well for me recently on Chewy are cat towers, like literally the towers that they climb up and can go inside, dog crates, dog gates, and heated dog houses. And you can find a lot of similar pet things on Amazon for similar prices, but there's not as many people using this supplier, which obviously gives you an advantage as opposed to listing pet stuff solely from Amazon or eBay. The next site that I recommend that you look into listing from is Etsy. Etsy is great because there are plenty of things that you can list from, like t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, and aprons, for example, that can't be found on Amazon because they're typically from smaller third-party sellers that have print-on-demand designs exclusively on Etsy, and not so much Facebook Marketplace. Now, this didn't hit me to try until I started dropshipping my own print-on-demand designs on Etsy, and then I thought, what's stopping me from cross-posting these on Facebook Marketplace for some extra eyes and some more potential sales from other customers that might not be searching for them on Etsy, but might be on other places? And some of them picked up traction pretty fast. So I recommend trying this out yourself. If you can find some cool designs that aren't found anywhere else but Etsy, chances are at least some of them will get some traction on Marketplace. And finally, my best kept secret supplier that is not Amazon, is not Walmart, is not eBay, is not Home Depot, is...
Drum roll, please.
eBay. Now, you're probably thinking like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You spent the entire video telling me to list from other suppliers and to branch out, and now you're telling me that your best supplier to list from is eBay? Yes. Let me explain. The whole reason that you want to branch out to other suppliers is because those other websites are super saturated with other sellers listing the same exact products. But you know what not many people, if anyone, is dropshipping? Used stuff. So while everyone is competing dropshipping new items, you can claim a massive market share of the used item market. You'll have a massive advantage over dropshippers because nobody else will be competing with you on the same exact product, so you'll be differentiated. You'll have a massive advantage over resellers that are selling used stuff on Marketplace because you don't need the products in hand to list them, which means that you can list unlimited amounts of products while they're solely tied to only being able to list the few items that they have in their possession. And if you think about how Marketplace started, it started out as a Craigslist of sorts, where people sold stuff from around the house that was used. Now, recently, over the past year or two, with the influx of drop shippers and lots of bigger companies that are hopping on and starting to see shops pop up, you're starting to see more and more new items on it. But often when everybody zigs, you might want to think about zagging. So I definitely recommend trying to list a bunch of used things from eBay onto Marketplace if you want to differentiate yourself from the other loads of dropshippers that are competing in the new item market. You do sometimes need to be careful with used listings though, because obviously they can go out of stock. And you don't want to waste loads of time listing products to your store that aren't going to remain in stock very long. That defeats the entire purpose of it, which is why I recommend doing so from eBay, because you can sort through specific categories and then use the filters on the side to find things that are located in your country, are used, and have multiple quantities left in stock. This has been one of the biggest revelations in my dropshipping business over the past 2 months or so, and I'm sharing it here with you. Since I'm still actively doing this quite a bit, I'm not going to give away all my best categories, but one example of a category that sells well for me used and has high margins is used power tools. Plus, for whatever reason, they seem to have a pretty high demand on Marketplace. I highly recommend that you start listing from these websites. You won't see an immediate ROI tomorrow or a giant spike in sales overnight, but you'll be building a stronger foundation for your dropshipping business. You'll be differentiated over more suppliers, and you'll stop competing in the same red ocean as every other shark that's dropshipping on Marketplace. And funny enough, this is actually my second video that I've done on the top suppliers that I recommend listing from, other than your Amazons, your eBays, and your Walmarts. If you'd like to check out part 1, click the video that's linked up on the screen right now. That will give you the original 5 suppliers that I recommend branching out to from part 1, along with some examples of products that have sold well for me on those websites. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any value from it whatsoever, please give it a like. I genuinely appreciate it. Until next time.